Sonya Deville finally got her job threatened, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also take a look at what's next for Roman Reigns and some Sasha Banks related topics. Starting things off with Sonya Deville being threatened to lose her job. It only took 7 months for Vince McMahon to finally find out about Sonya Deville's abuse of power. We've mentioned time and time again how weird it is that Sonya Deville got away with it for so long, because all of these instances of her abusing her power were on full display on national television. She wasn't even trying to hide it, and still, nothing was done to her. But finally, that plot hole has been covered up after she received a message from the chairman himself. Sonya Deville also proposed a big fine for Ronda Rousey. Even though she could be an aggressor at times, the Sonya Deville character doesn't like being attacked at all. And if you do anything with her, she will make sure you pay the price with her abuse of power. And that's what she attempted to do here with this big fine and punishment for Ronda Rousey. But the message from Vince McMahon reveals that he had overruled that fine proposal and nothing will be done to Ronda Rousey. Vince McMahon then said if Sonya gets involved in any way with Naomi versus Charlotte Flair, that her job would be at risk. So that was a good way to clear everything up and for us to have a clean championship main event. Naomi and Charlotte put on an amazing match, but Naomi would end up losing that title match. Sonya would then come to the ring immediately after the match and get in Naomi's face to tease her about the loss. So that little moment there tells us that Naomi and Sonya Deville's story is still continuing. Where are we headed with this story now? Will we ever find out what the origin is of Sonya's issue with Naomi? Is there a bigger endgame in mind for this story? Those are all the questions that no one knows right now. This feud has been going since summer of 2021. So considering the length of this feud, everyone expects a big endgame for this story. With WrestleMania right around the corner, do we see Naomi versus Sonya Deville at WrestleMania with Sonya putting her job on the line in that match? Maybe that's the big endgame that they're stretching it out for. It's just hard to tell right now. But back to the closing moments of Smackdown. Charlotte and Sonya beat Naomi down until Ronda Rousey made the save. This moment right here, along with the opening segment and Ronda and Sonya's interaction from a few weeks ago, was all set up for a big tag team match at Elimination Chamber. It will be Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte and Sonya Deville. So that should be a great tag team match because it contains two big Smackdown stories. They get to touch on Naomi versus Sonya and tease Ronda versus Charlotte even more in that tag team match. So just a great spot to build for both of those matches. So we'll see who comes out on top here in this match. Naomi, Ronda, and Charlotte can't really afford to take a pin right now and lose momentum. So it would appear that Sonya takes the pinfall here. But we'll see how that unfolds. A lot of fans are wondering about the whereabouts of Sasha Banks. She was injured very earlier in the year, came back for the Royal Rumble match, was quickly eliminated, and hasn't been seen since. So fans want to know what's going on with Sasha Banks. Well, the answer seems to be pretty clear. She's resting that foot injury. Remember that Sasha wasn't originally due back till late February. Her Royal Rumble appearance was a surprise, and she had a short appearance in that match to further protect her injury. So that's why she hasn't been seen since Royal Rumble. But her original return date is quickly approaching, so we should see Sasha again in late February or early March. She should be really healthy by then, and there's no way they let a fully healthy Sasha sit on the sidelines during WrestleMania season. So hopefully she will be back once she's fully recovered. And like we've been talking about, she needs a WrestleMania story as well. So does she pick her feud back up with Shotzi? Does she do something with Bayley? Does she go over to Raw for an opponent, face a legend? There's a lot of possibilities, so we'll have to wait on that. In other Sasha Banks related news, her Star Wars character, Casca Reeves, will be one of the main characters in a new Star Wars comic book. Sasha really put the character back on the map during her portrayal of the character in the Mandalorian series. It appears that Disney and Star Wars are capitalizing on the popularity of Casca Reeves with all their merchandise and now comic books. So even Sasha's Star Wars career is taking off as well. As expected, the Goldberg vs. Roman Reigns match didn't have the greatest story surrounding the match, which is a little bit unusual for Roman Reigns. All of his feuds and storylines during his historic title reign have been top tier, but they were only given 2 weeks to build up the story for this match, so there's just not much story to really build in 2 weeks. But we got some sit-down interviews with both Roman and Goldberg. Roman explained how 2 years ago, when this match was supposed to take place, Goldberg would have had a better shot because Roman was obviously in a different state as a person. But he said in current day, Goldberg has no shot. Michael Cole mentioned Goldberg's WCW run of 173 straight wins, to which Roman pointed out the fact that WCW went out of business. Roman said if he himself was in WCW, that WCW would still be in business in current day. There were also some small jabs at Brock Lesnar during this interview to keep that story going as well. Paul Heyman made a joke about how he used to introduce Brock Lesnar, saying that Brock is so egotistical. That was of course meant to be a funny, ironic joke because look who Heyman's sitting next to, Roman Reigns, another narcissist and massively egotistical character. So that was a little jokey that they slipped that in there. Then we get to Goldberg's interview and he's asked about the doubters that say he's made too many comebacks and he's unsuccessful majority of the time. Goldberg says this one is different. He will dig down deep and this comeback run will stick. Even though this is WWE and they're highly capable of making some surprising decisions, no one really expects Goldberg to knock Roman Reigns off. Hypothetically speaking, that will be right up there, neck and neck, with how awful the Goldberg versus The Fiend outcome was, especially with how much time we've invested in Roman versus Brock. Switching to Brock versus Goldberg doesn't make any logical sense. So Roman will most definitely walk out of Elimination Chamber still as Universal Champion. Lots of rumors that this will be the last match on Goldberg's current deal as well. If WWE wants him back, they'll have to sign a new deal with Goldberg, so that decision is up to them. But if Goldberg and WWE do come to terms with a new deal, you can put him in the title scene again. Elimination Chamber will be 3 straight world title losses for Goldberg, so you can't have him come around during SummerSlam season and instantly declare himself #1 contender again, especially on a massive losing streak like this. If Goldberg does agree to a new deal with WWE, it will have to be exhibition matches, or he'll have to earn his title matches. The days of walking out, skipping the line, and just saying, "You're next" to the current world champion has to come to an end. Goldberg is great, he's box office, he's a legend, but this whole broken logic of him getting world title matches whenever he wants, despite losing non-stop in those title matches, needs to be fixed. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.